For this video, I take 265 counterclockwise around the Louisville metro area. Make sure to keep watching this video towards the end to see the rest of that drone shot from the beginning. That was a special drone shot because after I got done flying it, well, I'll tell you the story when we get there. If you enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, as doing all of those things helps these videos destroy the evil monster that is the YouTube algorithm. Also make sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. If you enjoyed this video, then you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on this channel. Videos on other places like what you'll see here can be found in my Louisville playlist, my Kentucky playlist, or in my Indiana playlist. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. Since the freeway just kind of randomly starts way out here in the sticks, it's not assigned interstate route until after it crosses 65 in the eastbound direction. So, about the name. Who in the hell is this dude that they named the highway after? Well, as you can tell by the title of this video, the Kentucky portion of this freeway is called the Gene Snyder Freeway. Louisville is one of the smallest metro areas that I know of that calls some of their freeways by name instead of calling all of them by number. If you can think of a smaller metro area in the United States where the locals referred to their freeways by name, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, Gene Snyder was a member of the U.S. House of Representatives from two of Kentucky's congressional districts, those being the 3rd and 4th districts. Snyder graduated from the Jefferson School of Law and started his career in 1950 as a lawyer in Louisville. In 1954, Snyder became the Jeffersontown City Attorney, and in 1962 was elected to the House of Representatives from Kentucky's 3rd District. The reason that this freeway is named after him is because in 1982, Snyder secured funds to build this freeway. Construction on the first portions of what is today the Gene Snyder Freeway began in the 1960s, but the roadway was able to get completed under the funding that Snyder helped secure in the early 1980s. By 1987, the highway was completed between I-65 and I-71. This portion of the route sees only about 10,000 vehicles per day, which makes it the least traveled portion of the highway. Not a surprise really when you take a look around. Well, there's not too much else to say at the moment. I don't see any hill jacks off to the side of the road that are trying to hitch a ride, and I don't see any pimped out cars that look like they belong in a Grand Theft Auto game. All this is a road that goes around the outskirts of Louisville, and there's not much else to it. I put these videos together for those who are curious as to what this area looks like, or maybe you used to live in Louisville and you used to drive this all the time and this video has a nostalgic value or something. I mean, there's plenty of reasons why anyone would want to watch this particular video or any particular video that I've uploaded. I'll talk throughout this video during the few times that there are actually things to say, most notably the portion of the highway that crosses into Indiana, as it was completed fairly recently. I also have that crazy drone story, sort of crazy. I mean, it's not the craziest thing, but it's definitely not something that you would expect. But in the meantime, why not jam out to some licensed music? Yeah, don't lie, you know you love it.
I made the devil run. I gave him poison just for fun. I had one friend, now there's none. I made the devil run. I broke so many bones, but none of them were ever my own. They were an army, I was alone. I broke so many bones. I'm bad as bad can be, so bad that it's hard to believe. Oh, what they say about me. I'm bad, take a look and see, so bad that it's hard to believe. I don't care what they say about me. I watched an empire fall. I stormed the gate and scaled the walls. They wouldn't share, so I took it all. I I'm bad as bad could be. I'm bad as bad could be. Bad as bad can be, so bad that it's hard to believe. Oh, what they say about me. Yeah, I'm bad. Take a look and see, so bad that it's hard to believe. I don't care what they say about me. Oh, I'm bad as bad can be. Oh, so bad. I'm bad as bad can be.
Here you can see construction taking place, as the entire highway used to be only 2 lanes in both directions. From Taylorsville Road north to I-71, Kentucky is adding a 3rd lane in both directions and is expected to be completed sometime by the end of 2023. The stretch of the Gene Snyder between I-64 and Shelbyville Road is the busiest stretch of the highway, as it carries 80,000 vehicles daily. Now, you can add this to the many other things that makes Louisville a weird place. I mean, not in a bad way, only if you want to take it personally like that, I guess, but I mean, I've known several people from Louisville throughout high school and college that are from here and have admitted that Louisville was pretty odd. But anyway, on the stretch of the Gene Snyder Freeway between LaGrange Road and I-71, you'll see quite a few highway signs that use the metric system, meaning that things are signed by the kilometer and not by the mile. The Kentucky Department of Transportation claims that in the 90s, things were trending towards using the metric system and away from using miles. I'm just going to say that I haven't seen kilometers used anywhere else in the United States, and some of you may know that I've been to many places. There's still a lot of places that I haven't been to, but this is the only place in the US where I've seen an interstate highway marked by the kilometer. But, yeah, go ahead and believe the Kentucky Department of Transportation if you want, I guess. Well, after a long day of driving, I had to stop and fill up my car with some gas. Nothing unusual there, but as soon as I got back in my car and started driving again, it was like I was in a Grand Theft Auto video game. I mean, okay, yeah, maybe not really, but okay, yeah, fine. Let's go ahead and move on. So in 2016, the stretch that we're about to drive on between I-71 and State Route 62 in Indiana was completed. This was a part of the larger Ohio River Bridges project, which built 2 new I-65 bridges in downtown, one for the northbound direction and a remodel of an older bridge for the southbound direction. The Eastern Bypass, which is where we are currently, was the third bridge of that project. Upon completion, all 3 of the new bridges received electronic toll systems where a camera takes a picture of your license plate, in which then you will get sent a RiverLink letter in the mail. In case you're curious, it took about 6 weeks before I ever received my bill in the mail. You can at least pay by phone instead of sending in an envelope with a check. However, when this Eastern Bypass Bridge was completed, it was a pretty big deal, as before then, there were only 3 Ohio River bridges in the Louisville metro area. One for 65 and another for US 31, and a third on the far west side for I-64. Heading east, there's not another bridge over the Ohio River until you get to the small town of Madison, Indiana, which is about 37 miles upstream. Now, about that drone story. I took this drone shot on the Indiana side of the bridge right outside of the small town of Utica. I had lived in Indiana for about 10 years, with 5 of those years being in southern Indiana, but I had never yet been to Utica. When I parked my car in a dirt pullover area right off of the road that goes underneath the bridge on the Indiana side, there was some dude parked where I intended to fly my drone. I got out of my car and flew my drone anyway, and the dude went from chilling outside of his car to quickly getting inside of it and driving off. I didn't think anything of it. Anyway, I flew my drone and I got a shot of the bridge, and then I got back in my car. While I was putting my drone away in my bag, a cop pulled up behind me and got out of his car and walked towards me. I was just thinking about playing it cool and being nice, and it worked. Turns out that some homeowners nearby called the cops on either me or the guy that was here before me because they were bothered by the fact that someone was parked there. Really? Okay, well, I had told the cop that I had only been there for a few minutes and that I was flying my drone and that I was commercially licensed to do so, and the cop couldn't have been a nicer guy. Give credit where credit is due, especially in this day and age where too many good cops are taking a lot of heat for the bad actions of only a few bad apples. He was just doing his job with following up with the complaint. If anything, it just made me feel like the residents of Utica were a certain type of way, if you know what I mean. All I was doing was parking there and flying my drone out over the river. People park and launch their boats in the river all the time, I'm sure. What's so bad about flying a drone? But that's stereotyping, and what I'm doing could be some over-speculation. My worst nightmare ever since getting my drone is having a cop to try and arrest me, even if I was flying it within the rules. There's just too many horror stories out there of drone hobbyists being told that they're breaking the law when they're really not, and all they're trying to do is get epic video or pictures of the surrounding scenery. But this cop was a good cop, no issues there. He didn't care one bit that I was flying my drone, but it just makes me want to be even more careful in all of these small hill-jack towns especially that I continue to go through when filming for these videos. You never know who you're going to come across that thinks that they know something that they really don't know a damn thing about because nobody in their town flies a drone, so therefore they've never had to deal with it, something like that. Well, one last thing to point out, I'm sure some of you might be wondering why the whole route that I just drove on isn't marked as Interstate 265. For that, I don't really know why it's not. It looked like it was up to freeway standards along the whole route. Not sure why that hasn't been done yet, but maybe sometime in the future it will. With that said, I do end the video here. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, as doing all of those things helps these videos destroy the evil monster that is the YouTube algorithm. Also make sure to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time that I upload a new video. If you enjoyed this video, then you might enjoy checking out some of the featured playlists on this channel. Videos on other places like what you saw here can be found in my Louisville playlist, my Kentucky playlist, or in my Indiana playlist. Last but not least, if you can't get enough of me on here, you can always go follow me on my other social media accounts, and those links are below. We'll see you next time. Peace!